For the past days, Xian has been working hard to maintain his character of being a lover. He's been chatting with Haiteng duo all the time. They have similar temperaments and interests. They really got along well. Speaking of this Haiteng, she was the opposite of the image of a young girl in the world's imagination. When she was in the palace, she could still look dignified. As soon as she leaves the palace, she can carry a small bamboo basket and shop for groceries. She even bought a yard in the suburbs of the capital. It's like living in the countryside. Xian was used to seeing the deceitfulness of people's hearts. Sometimes he's tired of dealing with the power of the devil. He can't help but feel overwhelmed. It's rare to have a moment of leisure and relaxation. To be a normal person. What he said just now, Haiteng duo may not believe it, but in front of her, he can't help but share his stories with her. That day, they drank a lot of wine. From the rising of the sun to the fading of the sunset. Xian hadn't been so happy for a long time. When he was drinking and eating, he even memorized the story of Sister Qiao in the Dream of the Red Chamber. Sometimes he couldn't help but think, is human life really a cycle of karma? Why is it that those who do evil always get a good ending? But if you think about it, it doesn't make sense. The world changes in an instant. The good and the bad in people's hearts are just a matter of thought. Didn't he once try his best to give up his life for Tang Zijing? For Tang Zijing, to seek justice for all the people in the world. The faster he moves, the farther away he is from his original goal. Now, Xian can bring others into the chessboard with a smile. But he can no longer say what he once said. Everyone is equal now. If you look at it this way, he's not even a good person. He's just like most people, walking in the dark in the fog. Half a mortal doesn't remember much after that. I only know that when he woke up drunk. The person who took care of him at his bedside was Sri. She told him when the Empress Dowager's birthday was over, she would be ready to enter the palace. But before that, he couldn't help but want to see Xian again. Even if it's just to say a few words, it would be the fulfillment of her wish. On the day of the Empress Dowager's birthday banquet, Taoist he arrived at the palace early, to remind Xian to make sure the groom escapes to challenge him in court. Before the banquet began, Haiteng duo specially called Xian aside. Xian was angry, although what Haiteng did wasn't quite right, but it won't affect the overall situation. Sri has been at Qingtap for a long time. For years, she's rarely had the chance to talk to her favorite person. She only considered it as one of Sri Sri's great regrets. The feast was soon to begin. Rancourt did what Blade said he would do. He personally challenged to take the risk. He originally thought that the domineering true Qi he practiced. He thought that his explosive power didn't have enough strength against an expert with a deep foundation like Wolf Tao. He shouldn't have much chance of winning. But Wolf Tao's provocative words, it's obvious that he wants to use him to fight. Xian had no choice but to fight. It was at this time Haiteng duo suddenly spoke up. She said she wanted to fight with him instead of Wolf Tao. Xian realized it right away she was trying to help him. The scene of their fight can be described as pleasing to the eyes. They were more like dancing instead of fighting. After the battle was over, the Empress Dowager brought up the issue of Jinyu and Xian to cooperate in trade. From what she said, this should be a done deal. If it were anyone else, the Empress has spoken, even if they have a point, they'd have to swallow their words. But Shenzhong was an exception. He knew that if he spoke out against it, would not only offend the courtiers in the hall, and cause the Empress Dowager's displeasure, but he still stood up without hesitation. Shenzhong's loyalty is no different here. It's no different from the secret room the Empress Dowager couldn't hide her displeasure. It's only natural for the tiger to come forward to talk about Xian. When mentioning his own little sister, Shenzhong immediately changed his face. For so many years, he thought he was loyal in every way. He's never been selfish. Even at the risk of losing his rank, he's never regretted anything he's done. Only his sister was his only weakness. Shenzhong had no shame in raising her. He never told his sister about any military secret, but with regard to what Tiger accused him of, he didn't know how to defend himself. He blamed himself for indulging his sister. That led to the current situation. Shang Chaohu made the first move. He put the blame on his head. In addition, the Empress Dowager and court officials are enough to make it difficult for him to turn over. The Empress Dowager did not take offense. She ordered him to go back to his home. But anyone with eyes could see, Shenzhong's position as commander of the Jinyu won't be able to hold the post for long. For example, Wave Tao and Begonia duo, they've surrendered to the Empress Dowager. In fact, they're the young emperors. The Empress Dowager and the little emperor seem to be fighting like hell, but in fact, they're in the same boat. Whether it's against Shenzhong or the tiger, it's all part of their mother and daughter's plan. Today, Xinzhong has fallen from grace. The little emperor has done a lot of work behind the scenes. He secretly sent the order to marginalize Xinzhong. As for the officials who were close to Xinzhong, were either caught in the act, or they were deliberately transferred out of the capital by the emperor. As a result, Xinzhong is now powerless. He'll never be able to turn his life around again. Now Fan Xian has returned to Yinbian Yun. They finalized the business deal with Northern Qi. It's time for the delegation to leave for home. Before leaving, Tiger came to the post house. Fan Xian met with Taoist He again, Dr. Gu Baokuan's show. It was Taoist He who took over the Northern Qi spy network. But how could Fan Xian have imagined? What he could have imagined. The emperor would have thought of it as well. What do we gain by capturing a man like He Daoren? What's in it for us? Our enemies can sometimes do things for us. Look at the situation now. Xinzhong has lost his future, and we don't have to fight for it. Why not? Borrowing a knife to kill someone. It's not as easy as the emperor's. As for He Daoren, Beiki could have used him as an undercover agent and send the news of their choice to Nanjing. On the other hand, Fan Xian found Haiteng Duo. He wants to see Zhuang Muhe. According to Xian's last wish, he should pay a visit in person and inform him of his death. With the help of Duo, he avoided all the people in the house. When he lifted the wooden curtain, he saw a room full of books, and Zhuang Muhe, who was studying hard. Compared to the last time he saw him in the memorial hall, Zhuang Muhe seemed to have aged a lot the moment he saw Fan Xiao. He barely managed to find a glimmer of light. Fan Xiao had long heard that he was sick. But what he didn't expect was this highly acclaimed master of literature and exploration until late at night. He refused to rest because of his illness. He was actually commenting on the corpse of his junior. He praised him for his excellent writing skills. Early the next morning, Fan departed on time. They were ready to go back to Qing. For some unknown reason, Haiteng Duo personally drove a carriage waiting on the dangerous road. Where did Mr. Zhuang go? He passed away yesterday. He asked me to give you these things. He gave you all of his own books. I hope you can live so happily too. Live a happy life, as the old saying goes. It's better to die in the evening than to die in the morning. He regretted that he didn't get to see Mr. Zhuang for the last time. But Fan think that Mr. Zhuang should have had a clear conscience before he died. The pot of wine that night, it was a toast to the man who fought so hard, and to the man who sips his wine, to those who have heard of the way and passed it on. Regardless of his deeds, his heart is like a dream. The world's hope for hearsay is in Fan Xian's hands. He's not sure if he can fulfill Mr. Zhuang's expectations, but this time, he can at least fulfill the words, implying that the way is here. Before Fan leaves, but Miss Shun rushed over in a panic. She claimed that Xinzhong had gathered a group of dead guards. He wanted to kill them at the border between the two countries. Get them now. Get them fast. The assassins arrived at the border in no time. Xinzhong didn't even care about Haiteng Duo's presence. He ordered them to kill them all. The delegation is in danger. They were trapped by the corpses, and Xinzhong hit Yinbian very hard. Every move was aimed at his old wounds. Ms. Luffy and the Xin family tried their best to block the way. She took a sword from Xinzhong. Yinbingyun's life is in danger. At this moment, the situation has changed. Fan Xian has broken through the encirclement. They fought with Xinzhong. The palace troops are coming over quickly. Xinzhong saw that his power was gone. Surprisingly, he didn't resist. He simply threw away his weapon. The creature was smuggling a huge amount. I've actually been paying attention, but the money has been transferred to the Ming family, the largest family in Southern Qing. The masters of the Ming family are the second prince and Li Yunrui. Yes, that's right. Li Yunrui has always been the crown prince. You've been tricked. Xinzhong has been holding out this secret for so long. Suddenly he's willing to reveal this secret. This is because he knew he'd be killed soon. That's why he arranged this show on purpose. If we can take this opportunity to kill all the ambassadors, the trade between the two countries will be cancelled. But if the plan fails, Xinzhong's arrow to his sister He'll be cleared of all suspicion. He only hoped Fan Xian would remember his sister's help. He'd bring her back to Nanqing and take care of her. After Xinzhong was brought back to the capital, what happened then? Fan Xian has only heard a few things. Heard that when he entered the city, he was confronted by a tiger looking for revenge. They came at him with a vengeance. He didn't put up much of a fight. I heard it snowed that day. When the snow fell, it gradually melted in his hot blood. Demoted King Xiao, a loyal general of his generation. He came here in great style, lost in desolation.